Okay, let's dive in. Today, we're taking a really deep look at a source called Brothers in Arms.
Yeah, it's quite a powerful story.
It really is. It's all about this incredible friendship and, well, sacrifice within the Indian Army.
That's right. It follows these two friends, Ari and Kabir. We see their journey from, childhood dreams.
Right, dreaming together as kids.
All the way to serving together, sharing that duty, and ultimately facing this moment of just immense sacrifice.
So our mission really is to unpack that narrative.
Exactly. And pull out what it tells us about loyalty, about brotherhood, the kinds of bonds that get forged when things get really, really tough.
We want to kind of guide you through the key moments, but also highlight the lessons, the things about relationships that really shape who we are. So Aryan and Kabir, their story starts pretty simply. Just kids in a small village.
Met when they were about 10, apparently.
Yeah.
And just clicked. Inseparable.
But it wasn't just like normal kid stuff, climbing trees or whatever. There was this specific moment. They saw some soldiers.
Ah, yes. That's where the promise comes in.
Exactly. They made this pact right then and there. Something like, one day we'll wear that uniform, we'll protect the country together.
And what's interesting, the source really digs into this, is that it wasn't just a fleeting childhood thing.
No,
it became like the core thread for them, the anchor for their whole relationship, even as they grew up and faced, everything else.
It set this expectation, a shared purpose, right from the start.
And challenges definitely came. They both went for the NDA entrance exam, which is notoriously difficult.
And passing was just the beginning, right?
Army training.
Yeah.
It's designed to break you down, essentially, and build you back stronger. It tests everything, especially friendships.
They were different, too, weren't they? Aryan more disciplined, Kabir a bit more free-spirited.
Yeah, that's how it's portrayed.
Yeah.
But their dynamic worked. Through all the tough physical stuff, the punishments, no sleep, injuries.
They relied on each other.
Consistently. There's this one scene mentioned, they're getting punished, standing in the pouring rain.
Yeah.
It sounds miserable.
Uh-huh.
And Kabir, the sort of lighter one, he whispers something like, "When we get our stars, first salutes for you, bro."
Wow. Even then.
And Aryan just shoots back, "Only if I don't salute you first."
Yeah. It's more than just affection,
That's respect. Seeing the best of each other, even at their worst moment.
Exactly. That's loyalty being forged right there in that shared hardship.
So fast forward a few years, they both make it. They get commissioned as officer.
Aryan becomes a major, Kabir a captain.
And then, almost like fate, they get posted to the same battalion.
Right. Operating in Kashmir. So a very high-stakes, high-pressure environment.
And the source shows how their bond kind of shifts, adapts to that reality.
Yeah, it does. There's this bit where they're planning a dangerous mission. The tension's obviously high.
Sure.
But they still have these moments. Kabir jokes, something like, "If anything happens, marry my sister."
Oh my gosh. Dark humor. Totally. And Aryan volleys back, "Only if you name your first kid after me." It sounds morbid, but it actually shows incredible trust.
They could face the worst, even joke about it, because the bond was that strong, that kind of vulnerability.
Precisely.
Yeah.
But then the real test came during that mission.
The ambush.
Yeah, in an ambush. One of their soldiers gets hit. He's pinned down. Heavy fire coming in.
And Kabir, the fearless one.
He doesn't hesitate. Just rushes forward to save the guy.
Wow.
And Aryan, seeing the tactical danger, he's yelling, "Kabir, fall back, get back here."
But Kabir wouldn't.
His response was immediate, not without him. And this is a key moment.
How so?
Well, his loyalty right then, it wasn't just about Aryan or their childhood promise.
Yeah.
It was to that soldier, to his duty.
Protecting his team.
Yes, that responsibility ingrained through service. That's where the sacrifice came from.
He gets the soldier.
He does, puts him to cover. But Kabir gets hit in the process.
Yeah.
Badly. Aryan reaches him, trying desperately to drag him back, and he's crying out, "You promised, Kabir, you promised," calling back to that vow.
That childhood promise.
And Kabir's last words, apparently, as he's bleeding out in Aryan's arms, they put it all full circle.
What did he say?
"I kept my promise. We fought together." And then he died.
Oh, man.
So keeping the promise, for Kabir, it wasn't just about wearing the uniform. It was about fighting together, side by side, to the end.
Fulfilling that commitment. What a profound sacrifice. Redefining the whole promise.
Absolutely.
And Aryan, obviously shattered. He still had to lead.
He did. Honored Kabir's courage by completing the mission, gave that final, heartbreaking salute at the funeral.
But the story doesn't end there, does it? The source talks about the legacy.
Right. Aryan didn't just grieve and move on. He carried the weight of that bond forward. actively.
Took care of Kabir's family.
Yeah, like they were his own, made sure they were okay. He even helped train Kabir's younger brother for the army later on.
Wow. Continuing that connection, that service.
And there's this ritual mentioned. Every year, Aryan goes to Kabir's grave, sits there silently.
And just says,
"Still watching my back, aren't you, brother?"
Yeah.
It says so much about a bond that death couldn't break.
So wrapping this up, we've traced this incredible arc, Aryan and Kabir, from a kid's promise,
Through shared hardship, the pressures of duty,
culminating in this absolutely selfless act, and then this living legacy.
and the big takeaway, I think, the thing the source really hammers home, is how these shared experiences, especially tough ones, when combined with mutual support and just unwavering loyalty, they don't just create strong friendships. They forge bonds as strong as family, sometimes even stronger.
Brothers made in the fire of loyalty and sacrifice.
Exactly. But it's also about how that fire keeps burning,
Yeah.
in the actions of those left behind, like Aryan.
It makes you think about the weight of promises kept. The sheer courage, not just in battle, but in that quiet, ongoing commitment afterward.
That legacy being honored.
Yeah, a powerful narrative.
So, maybe a final thought to leave you with. Consider this. How do these relationships, the ones forged in shared challenges, in adversity, how do they impact not just our own lives right then,
But how do they ripple outwards?
right, affecting the lives of others, maybe even people we'll never meet, echoing across time through the actions they inspire?